to Morning Market Call. My name is Jeff Butler, and with me today, I have Graham Orme. He's a second-year MBA student here at the Merit School, and he's also an aspiring social entrepreneur. Welcome, Graham.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to be here.
Great to have you here on the show.
Thank you.
Now, Graham, you actually spent some time this summer in Nicaragua. How was that?
It was a fantastic experience, Jeff.
I can imagine. It's not every day you get to go to Nicaragua.
No, especially on a business project.
Yeah, so I mean, you hit two birds with one stone: exotic country, and some quality business experience. So that's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So today we're going to talk about social entrepreneurship. As an aspiring social entrepreneur, can you tell us a little bit about what social entrepreneurship is, and how maybe it differs from traditional entrepreneurship?
That's a good question, Jeff. Social entrepreneurship is basically the work of a social entrepreneur. And what I mean by that is that someone with a social mind who is trying to solve a social need applies entrepreneurial principles to solve that social need. So they'll start a business idea around poverty, let's say, or education, or improving the lives of people in Africa for water or sanitary reasons or something like that.
Right.
So where traditional entrepreneurship focuses on a return and on profits, social entrepreneurship focuses on the social need. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that social entrepreneurship doesn't think about the profit as well. Sometimes social entrepreneurs also can gain a profit, and that's part of the focus now and part of the study in social entrepreneurship is how can you solve social needs while also returning a profit and making great returns.
Wow, so this is really kind of a hybrid concept between your typical nonprofit organization who has philanthropic and charitable goals, and just a typical startup company that is looking to make a profit and to be successful. So.
Right, and some of the best examples that you can think of in social entrepreneurship are microfinance organizations, for example. They look to give microloans to people in need so they can start really small businesses and take their families out of poverty, and bit by bit they return that money and also give a return to the investors who gave them that small fund. So it all not only blesses or benefits someone in need, but it also benefits the person who invested back the capital at the beginning anyway.
Awesome. So going back to where you spent your summer in Nicaragua, what organization did you actually work through, and what type of project did you do for your internship?
Right, well, my project in Nicaragua was with a company called Cause for Hope, which is actually a microfinance organization as well. They're based out of Salt Lake. And typically, in years past, people in those projects, what they've done is they've gone and worked with recipients of microloans to help them improve their businesses and be able to return that money back to the entrepreneurs and back to the microfinance so they can microfinance companies so they can there again return them, give more money, more loans out to more people. But my project was different. Because of the downturn in the economy, they've only been able to maintain the amount of donations that they've had to run their offices. They have 10 offices throughout Central America, and their goal was to expand into more offices in other countries. But they couldn't because of the downturn in the economy and the lack of donations. So they tasked me and 4 other individuals to go down and look at businesses, not necessarily social businesses, but traditional businesses that could be started, startups that could be started that could helpfully make these offices be self-sustaining and thereby making the donations that are currently being paid to run these offices go to open up new offices in other countries.
Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like a pretty interesting and obviously very fulfilling type of project. So maybe tell us what was the highlight of your experience there in Nicaragua?
Well, one of the highlights of being in Nicaragua and doing that project was just the ability to apply what I'd been learning through the last 8 months in business school and actually put it to practice. I was vetting business ideas, putting together pro formas, analyzing cost structures and benefits, and then coming back with recommendations of what businesses should be started. And I was able to apply the theory that I learned and actually practice it and I learned a lot more from my business education as a result.
Excellent. Sounds awesome. So share with us maybe a favorite memory from the project.
One of the favorite memories, Jeff, was not only did I was able to come up with new ideas, but I was also able to spend some time with microloan recipients. For example, one person we helped owned a used clothing store, and I helped them put together an inventory tracking system. They didn't have a computer, so they couldn't use any software or Excel spreadsheets to track their inventory. But we helped them code their clothing that they sold in their stores on the receipt to code the clothing items through a color coordination system to help them track how old the clothing was, to know when to reduce the price, when it wasn't selling, and when to get rid of it at cost, just to keep the inventory moving and keep the capital moving to invest in more clothing that would sell in the future. And it helped them out enormously. They're able to implement the tracking inventory tracking system immediately and saw great returns almost from the outset.
Wow, that's fantastic. I mean, the things that we take for granted, simple business concepts, you're able to go out and apply that and really help someone grow their business far beyond what they would have been able to do on their own.
Exactly.
That's terrific. Well, thank you so much, Graham, for coming on the show today. It was really great to hear about your experiences there in Nicaragua, and I'm sure it was inspiring and to hopefully help convince others that this is a great opportunity for them as well.
Definitely.
Thank you for tuning in, and we look to see you next time on Morning Market Call.
Morning Market Call is brought to you by the Marriott School of Management in cooperation with the Brigham Young University Department of Communications. MMC is made possible by generous donations from Larry Tasjan and Gary Williams. This show was produced by Jeff Butler, David Wood, and Doug Mumford, with line producing by Beth Grimmett. For more information, please follow us on Twitter and Facebook.